I don't know what that means, but I tend to do that on this show. Hey. What's that? That's like Fat Albert, the TV, the cartoon, Bill Cosby's cartoon in the late 70s. Yeah, something like that. Hey. It's a fat. I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry. Hey, well, it's real. You know, I can be all staunchy. I could have like a TBN set and be all goofy like that, but I'm not going to do that. Am I like... Here, let me check something, because I feel like my camera's... No, that's not where I want to go. Hold on, everybody. No? Okay. Allan Aguirre with your Incorruptible 2-minute warning. And I've already killed... I don't know how long I've killed. We are... the apostle to the pagan Gentiles. We are in Colossians. We've done James. We've done Peter. I thought, let's do a little bit of Paul. And Colossians, I like Colossians. It's a good one. I think it's like Ephesus. It's Paul teaching his formerly pagan Gentile congregants about who Messiah is and what the Word of God says. See, they didn't have a Bible. They didn't have a New Testament. They didn't have the Catholic compilation that like you and I have. They only had the Scriptures, the Old Testament, the Tanakh, the Torah, the law. That's all they had. That's all they were teaching from. And that alone should disrupt everything you've been taught as a Christian. We should do that tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow because tomorrow's Friday. That's when we do that. Remind me. We'll have a chat. Remind me to bring that up. Hey, Alan, they didn't have the Bible. They only had the Old Testament, and I will. That should quicken my memory, right? Depends what happens between now and then. Tomorrow morning, it's snowing outside. We have snow. Winter is upon us. I have a lot of stuff to do outside. A lot of moving around of trailers and stuff, and I'm not looking forward to doing that outside. It's not a lot of snow, but still it's enough for me to go, because it's not like I don't have a bunch of stuff to do indoors. I do, more than you want to know. Anyway, what an intro. Colossians 1:21 through 23. I can do all things. That's not what that verse is talking about. Anyway, so I'm going to read it from the English Standard Version, as I always do, but I'm also going to bring up the Complete Jewish Bible, only because I like a lot of the verbiage. A lot of the Complete Jewish Bible verbiage for Paul makes sense to me. Oh, but Alan, isn't that a Jewish-friendly version? You do know that Jesus was a Jew. Colossians 1:21 through 23 in the English Standard Version says, "And you who once were alienated and hostile in mind, doing evil deeds," he's talking to Gentiles. They were alienated from what? We'll find out in chapter 2. "He has now reconciled in his body of flesh by his death. And you, he has reconciled in his body of flesh by his death, in order to present you holy and blameless and above reproach before him. If indeed," right? This blows out your whole once saved, always saved nonsense. "If indeed," this is what he'll do for you if you continue in the faith, stable and steadfast. If you don't continue, if you're not stable and if you're not steadfast, right? Not shifting from the hope of the gospel that you heard, which has been proclaimed in all creation under heaven, and of which I, Paul, became a minister. So you got a good future in Jesus. He wants to present you holy and blameless to the Father if you continue in the faith, if you maintain stability and steadfastness. Otherwise, he'll spit you out of his mouth. The limbs of the tree that do not bear fruit are thrown in the fire. In other words, the Complete Jewish Bible says, "You who at one time were separated from God and had a hostile attitude towards him, because of your wicked deeds, because you were pagan, because you were a Gentile, because you had no concept or idea about what we're talking about, he is now reconciled in the Son's physical body through his death in order to present you holy and without defect or reproach before himself, provided, of course, that you continue in your trusting, grounded and steady, and don't let yourselves be moved away from the hope offered in the good news you heard. This is the good news that he has been proclaimed in all creation under heaven, and I, Shaul, have. Yeah, baby.
The views and opinions expressed during our broadcasts are solely those of the broadcast producers, hosts, and/or guests, etc., and are not necessarily the views or opinions of the Travelog Network, its sponsors, or affiliates.